Coach, now you've been back for a couple days, watched tape. What you thought of the game?
Well, it was really a tale of two halves for us, and it really boiled down to about 6 third down plays. We were 6 of 9 on third down in the first half, scored on 3 of 5 drives. Defense gave us a good field position on the first drive the turnover. We had a delay game that probably took us out of scoring range. We had a good play called, and we took the delay game that caused one of the drives in the first half not to score. Probably the most crucial, one of the critical plays of the game was the first drive. The second half, we were in third and medium. We had a play called that was there. We just didn't make the throw, And what probably the tail of the tape was on some third down is it wasn't all pressure, but there was hurried throws. We just weren't comfortable with the protection or a throw and timing of a route maybe, and that stopped some drives. We were actually more efficient on first down in the second half. I went through and looked at every first down call in the first half, second half. What was the difference? Where third down, there was definitely a difference in the first and second half. Well, in the second half, first down, we were even more efficient than the first half in the second half. So we had a lot of positive plays. So third down in the second half was a major issue in the game, and then we had a few more minus yardage plays overall than we've usually had. 2 of them were sacks on early downs. They brought a blitz. Well, one was a blitz, one was just a guy got beat on a play action pass. So those were the areas. There were some positives, but the production wasn't there at the end. You got to score more points. And I think just much like Mark probably talked about the defense, I think as that thing unveiled and they started having momentum, our guys probably put more pressure on themselves. Oh, I got to make a play. I got to do something instead of just relaxing and letting things happen. Much like the first drive, in the first half when there was, the game was just unfolding. So there were positives, but we know that we've got a lot more football to play in that game. We left a lot on the field, and that's what we've been mainly focused on this week, is not losing opportunities when they, present themselves.
Todd, there were a couple breaks in the game at Pitt where Scott wasn't in the game for an extended period of time. Was he hurt at any point, or is that just the rotation?
Just the rotation. He plays more plays, but I was going 2 and 3-1 series with him and Demetrius. He playing 2-1 or 3-1 as it unfolded. What happened on those drives were we just had a fluid drive. I think one or 2 of those were scoring drives, I believe. So we got in, we had like a 6-7 play, we hit some big runs, bang, 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 and just the drive finished out, and that was his blow to get a drive. So it wasn't anything to do with him versus me, or it's just we're going to give him a blow about every third series just to keep him fresh, because we have another guy in Meat, obviously,
Sure.
That's played a lot of football and does a good job and ran the ball pretty effectively in the Pitt game. So we'll continue to get reps for both of them. And it will just be on the number of series we decide to, how long his series goes. Maybe a short series, so he'll maybe go 4 in a row. But it's kind of on a play count.
Both running backs averaging over 6 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the running game?
Your line's playing pretty well. Your line's playing pretty well. I think the lines in the back are in pretty good sync right now with how we want to hit the holes, the tempo of the run, and they're both pretty physical runners. Obviously, Darryl is a big, strong guy. Meade has a way of kind of shifting through. I didn't think we beat the last defender as well. I thought a couple times we had a chance in the open field to maybe get a couple extra yards, but there were times in the box, so to speak, at the linebacker level, we fell forward. We broke it to arm tackle, and we got some yardage. But they're both physical. They both are in tune with our line, and a lot of the credit goes to our line, and a lot of that also goes to the threat of BJ. The thing that we've added, BJ's running the ball maybe a hair more than he did a year ago, but the picture the defense sees is that he's a threat every time to touch the ball. That's the kind of the beauty of the pistol and the gun. We're running downhill runs, but every time that defense turns around, 7 can take it. So that creates some running alleys for those backs, along with what our line's doing.
What were some issues you did see in the passing game that weren't working right?
Well, assignment-wise, I think it was just more of we had 1 or 2 protection things. We had some throws that we could have made, that BJ just got a little anxious on. I thought, it was a little fast in his tempo. And then, a couple times on routes that they manned us up, we had to get some more separation. So it wasn't just quarterback, O-line, or receiver. There was probably 1 or 2 of each position, and that's the thing that's been the point made to our guys that, everybody's got to be on the same page. The hardest thing to do is throw, catch, and protect, and especially in pressure situations. So we've been working a lot these last 2 days on third downs, and our defense is bringing some pressure. So I think it's just a comfort level, and I think a little bit of that where we had gotten better was the pressing a little bit. Oh, I got to make this play because we got off the field. We got to score these points, and they got to learn to kind of play with blinders on. Hey, we talk about that all the time. If we're up 10, down 10, you just keep focused and put blinders on, and don't worry about the scoreboard. Just execute the call, and I think our whole team needs to learn to do that better. we hadn't been behind all season, I don't believe.
Right.
And you're on the road, a big game, you want to do well, and you get behind, they're playing well, and you got to block those things out and just focus on the next play and do your job. And I think it's a great learning tool. You don't want to learn with a loss, obviously, but if we get it corrected now, and we got the bulk of our season left, and the conference race is on, and if we had to take that learning curve on game 1 of the conference, I'd rather take it on game 1 than game 5 of the conference schedule. That's for sure.